Yo, what's good? This is Stu from Stu TV. I cover all things blockchain, metaverse, crypto, NFTs, all money making opportunities in the space. I got a special guest, actually special guest with me today, and I was going to allow them to introduce themselves to the audience.
Hi, I am Ulvi. I'm the co-founder of Dawgs, and also as in Web2, I'm a lecturer of computer science at a university, and I'll pass it to Neo now.
Hello, this is Neil. I'm also a co-founder of Brave Talks, and I am in real life. I'm actually a software engineer. I also used to be a lecturer, but then I quit to pursue my profession in software engineering, and now I am overseeing the technical aspects of the Brave Talks.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah, definitely. Just happy to have your guys on to the channel and definitely welcome. But definitely appreciate y'all guys coming and doing this. And just with Brave Dogs, for just the people that don't know, what exactly is Brave Dogs and what inspired you to create the project?
Okay, and to just to begin with, we are very grateful for the invitation that you have sent us because this is our first YouTube interview, I think. So that is something, and I really appreciate you. Yeah. So Brave Dogs. So our vision is to establish a brand on Cardano blockchain for creators, developers, and also the innovators through our exciting ventures. And our mission is to fill this community with various utilities and resources while fostering an environment of intellectual engagement and growth. And we're also in the process we're also trying to bring the good principles of web 2 in web 3 to answer what inspired us to bring on the Brave Dogs. um, so yeah, I mean, before, I think in 1 or 2 years back, we are experiencing a lot of projects coming up with no products or anything whatsoever to showcase, and with just a roadmap. And that was something new for us because both Neo and I have a lot of experience in Wave 2, and we have never seen any project or anything whatsoever in Wave 2 collecting fund or invest before showing any proof of work. So that inspired us in some form of way to do something different and to bring something different for the Cardano community. That's why we have launched when it drops back in March 2022. This is a calendar, and there we have listed more than 400 projects for free, and we didn't take any single penny from the community. So that are the whole game line to just to showcase proof of work before going into the community for asking for funds. Then we came up with Brave Mint, as you have said, as I've already said, just as a proof of work that we are capable of doing and developing products. You don't have to believe our roadmap. You can check, you can try our products before investing on our NFTs or projects.
Okay. Yeah.
If
No, go ahead.
you want to add something.
Oh no, no. I think you have said what there is to say, but I'll talk about the technical aspects in later.
Great.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you have two things as far as services. So, you have your NFT calendar, which will just show like the list of Cardano projects, and then also
Yeah.
you have your Brave Mint, which is your minting service solution, just for other card like projects just coming into the space and the ecosystem to use your platform. If I'm understanding you correctly.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Yeah, definitely. So like as far as just with the minting service, do you have any projects that's already used your service as far as projects go, like projects that want to use your service or you have, deals made or just anything going on as far as your minting services, people that actually use your platform already?
Yeah, so we have given our service to 5 projects already. First one was Monster, then The Good Stuff, Nozomi, Oliver's, and the last one was the Charus Luminous. And today we are giving the service to the Samurai Legacy. I mean, it is live right now, and we are also in contract signed with a lot of other projects too. Just to mention some names, we are the main partner of Jack Freaks. We will be meeting his main collection, Street Freaks. We are the official main partner of Cardano Thor. We will be minting all his upcoming collection of Vikings. And we just have signed a contract with Dreams. This is a NFT project on Cardano, which they are doing very good with their marketing and their project and their whole idea. So yeah, we just have signed a contract. I think just 30 minutes back with them too.
Wow, definitely a lot of names, recognizable names as far as Cardano's Thorn and then Jack Freaks. I know
I mean, the best one.
yeah, he's a big
So
time.
no. They also has an honorable mention in Cardinal Thor's, sorry, on Cardinal Wales, Ada Wales Twitter thread.
Yeah. Well, yeah, y'all got some notable names as far as just using your services. I'm definitely aware of all of them. So yeah, shout out to all those people. And yeah, I could definitely see y'all definitely in motion just going on with your project. And forgive me if y'all kind of touched this on this a little bit, but in regards to like your project, like and just like a level of experience, because this is something that it means something to me as far as like what is your level of experience like coming into, like how long have you been in the CNFT blockchain? Just because like I feel like people that identify, I feel like the Cardano community and CNFTs have like a unique culture to itself when you kind of compare against like other blockchains. And then I've also seen experiences as far as different projects that come in other chains, and they're just like, well, Cardano is kind of like a big opportunity to where we can monopolize the market. And it's just like the level of actually being in the Cardano culture. Like, how long have you been in like CNFTs, and ultimately like why did you choose like Cardano as your blockchain to build
Okay,
this
so
service
yeah,
on?
that was a good question. I will begin and you will add the answer. So our undergrad thesis was on blockchain. We had to create a platform to maintain stockpile detection and price traceability with the blockchain. So we were looking for the perfect blockchain to work on for our thesis, and that was the first time we found Cardano, but it didn't have a smart contract at that moment. So we did our work on Ethereum with Solidity, but the decentralized and collaborative approach to research, development, and progress of the Cardano caught our attention, and we basically fell in love with the vision of Cardano, to be honest. So back then, and I think that was 2019 or 2018. At that time period, Cardano community on Twitter was not as prominent as it was, or perhaps I was not aware of its existence. But there was some Cardano Facebook groups that we were engaged. I think there were more than 100k members at that time, even though it is not have today. But there is no activity whatsoever in the Facebook. But now we have the Twitter community. Um, so the Cardano Crocs Club was my first project that I minted, and I was very active in the Discord too, and I won a free NFT from Cardano Crocs Club project. So I'm a true legend, you could say.
Yeah.
uh, then yeah, I mean, even if you search my name, will be in Cardano Cross Club, Cardano Chill Kongs or Clay Nation, Space Bars. You'll find thousands of my texts back in those days. Lately, I'm not that active in those in Discord because I'm very much busy with my own project. But if you trace back to 1 year back, you will find at least thousands of my texts in those channels. So you could say we are from the street of Cardano NFT, and we do have the experience, and we do have the knowledge what Cardano community is. Because it's a very delicate community. It's not, it's unlike other community as you have already mentioned. And so yeah, I think we can definitely forward this community as its best.
Wow. Yeah, this lot of projects that you're definitely in. That's something, because I remember when Cardano Crocs first minted. I know when they came in and they was going to, compete with JPEG Store and a lot of different things. And then they was going to do like, I think 60% for the Crocs and 40% for the Toads as far as, getting on that marketplace and different things. And obviously with that project, a lot of things has changed, but it's just awesome just to see, different people just within the community and then just what they get exposed to when they first come in. And then from there, they kind of bridge their own level of innovation and develop ideas to further help like the ecosystem itself. Because like that's like the one thing that inspires me just every day, just with the ecosystem, is how all these projects and all these talents and resources that we have, whether it's projects, developers, all these different things, how we actually come together and we try to build like the Cardano blockchain overall, and everybody kind of plays a certain role. And I know that's very like inspiring to me, and just to hear this is like your level of experience, just to know that you're actually, in the trenches, so to speak, and have a level of identification as far as, all the projects that you hold and you understand like the CNFT culture. So yeah, that's definitely awesome. Yeah. Did you have anything that you wanted to add on to that, Neil? I didn't want to talk or over talk, and make sure if you had anything
Yeah,
you
I
wanted
think
to add to
Neo
that.
would cover the experience that you have to bring for the Cardano community. If you want to add, Neo.
Yeah, I think I can add my personal perspective to that answer. So, for my reason to come into the Cardano is that, first of all, the Cardano foundations, the scientific background of Cardano, it was a peer-reviewed paper, as we all know, and we also did our undergraduate thesis on blockchain. So we are both also come from the academic background. So that was our founding reason to get interested in Cardano. But when we did our graduation, that was before the age of Cardano smart contracts. Back then, Cardano didn't even have a smart contract, so we worked with Ethereum then. But later in 2021, when Cardano releases smart contract, that actually piqued our attention that, well, now there is a blockchain we like, and now they have a smart contract. So that obviously that was a ground floor of something big. So we took the opportunity and we wanted to join in because we feel like that it was more important to be a big part of something small rather than being a small part of something big. So that was actually my motivation to join on Cardano. And I believe that the Cardano openness and the way Cardano works for Cardano SIP, for example, anyone can contribute, anyone can have that impact on the blockchain. So that was mostly our main reason to join on Cardano.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's similar reasons as far as getting in, early, as far as starting with the blockchain and kind of seeing it improve overall, and then essentially just growing with the blockchain. Just as more DeFi components come out, stable coins, just different things, ecosystems, more metaverses. It just allows you to kind of grow with the blockchain, and you can, like you were referencing back just with when they first released smart contracts. You remember a time when there wasn't none. So it's just, you get to actually see it in real time instead of, going to other bigger blockchains where everything's kind of laid out for you. You kind of take for granted, just in a sense, like a lot of things that's kind of put in play and opportunities that wasn't there. So yeah, definitely I can identify with that. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to touch on in terms of like y'all's level of experience? I know y'all had touched a bit on like y'all's Web 2 experiences, just in terms of like business. And I know that's something that I'm always curious about, just because do you have any business experience? I know y'all already touched that, but just in general, just as a side note, just other projects have any business experience, because that forefront running a business and like managing funds and different things and execution, having a level just in other industries can help you in this industry itself. So was there anything else that y'all would like to add as far as y'all's Web 2 experience in business?
Oh yeah, I think I can add something to that question. So as part of way to experience, yeah, we actually have a lot. So let me start from my career. So I first started coding back in 2012 or 2013. That was before even getting to the college. So back then I was coding in PHP because it was most popular language at that time. I don't know if anyone even use that language anymore, but well, that was my foundation. Then later I admitted into college, and then we participated in programming contest, national, international. And when we reached our final year, we have me and Ulfi, we are both graduate partners, and we did our graduation together, and we worked together in our college life. So back then we developed multiple applications for private organizations, for governments, and one of our applications actually our university uses one of the application we developed, and we got well paid for that as well. I'll admit. And after graduation, we both get into the lecture profession. I later left as a software engineer, but we continued. And when I left to join as a software engineer, I was also working on something of my own. It was actually a SaaS application. So, in case if anyone doesn't understand, SaaS means software as a service. So basically, it can be a subscription model. It can be a microservice model. Basically, what you are doing is that you are providing a software service for a price, for a payment, or for a monthly subscription or a one-time payment. So yeah, we are working on a SaaS application together, and that was in 2022 when we break even and our product is now live. And we are not gonna go into the details for privacy, but so we had a real business experience in Web 2. And then we just Cardano launches smart contracts, and we focused on our attention to Web 3 because Web 3 has its own advantage. In Web 2, the customer acquisition cost, marketing costs are really high. So if you want, it's but in compared to Web 3, we feel like the cost and community engagement is much more easier. So we wanted to focus some of our attention to Web3, and that is why we started working on NFT drops, and later we switched on, we introduced Brave Dogs and Brave Mint, and things will come. So that was our experience in Web2, and the experience aligned with Web3.
Awesome. Was there anything would you like to add to that, Wolf?
Yeah, just as he was mentioned, I mean, we're trying to bring the good things, good principles of Web 2 to Web 3 because in Web 3, it's a bit, it's not, it's not sound that we don't have the good principles of Web 2 because Web 3 is a matured segment. So we do have to bring the good principles of Web 2 to Web 2 to make it much secure and, because blockchain is trustless, but the ecosystem or the attributes that goes around the blockchain is not yet trustless. So the all the projects and all the things are not a trustless product. We have to trust the founder. We have to trust the roadmap. We have to trust the capability and all those things. We are trying to we are trying to do our best to make our product as trustless as possible. That's why we have brought our own products, and that will create long-term revenue, and that should give someone the confidence that we are not here for short term, we are here for the long term. Because just with the Brave Mint, with the minting service, and when we can serve the community the years to come. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's something that I always look for in projects is just, having a long-term vision and, not being short-sighted in terms of just like revenue sources. And yeah, y'all definitely have a lot of those things already in motion just because like a lot of projects come into the space and they necessarily don't really have, any revenue generating sources other outside of secondary marketplace sales. And then kind of, as that volume and different things of the activity level on the secondary kind of goes down, then they got to release
Yeah.
like collections 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just because they either run out of funds or don't have to budget money correctly. So it's good to know that y'all have like a long term vision in terms of like all the services that y'all providing, and then y'all have ways of generating revenue just outside of like the project and secondary sales. Y'all actually provide a service, but just in terms of like y'all services, I know y'all offer like the minting solution, and like y'all offer like the calendar, and not really gonna say names in terms of like, but obviously in the space there's other projects that offer similar services or exact services to what y'all offer. just coming into the ecosystem, exactly I would ask like, what is your competitive advantage versus those other services or minting solutions or calendars? What things are or levels of innovation are you going to bring that's going to be different from them, or you know, into the space? Like, what things are you going to be offering, or just things that are different?
Okay, so just to answer the first one, when it drops, so yeah, we do have other calendars, but with the user interface or the user experience of other calendars are not as good as it should be. But if you try our calendar, the UI UX is, I think, is the best, not just on Cardano but on whole crypto. And we do have some significant cool features that other calendars doesn't provide, such as you know. The social growth metrics that uh, we do show on our calendar, and we do have the other features like notifying someone, being setting a reminder to a mint, and to see all the information at a glimpse. These are the features that are missing in other calendars. um, and in terms of the mint engine, yeah, I mean the market is big, and as you mentioned, there are a lot of other competitors. But yeah, as I want to say, the market is big, and there is something for everyone. But we do have some competitive advantage of other mint service providers. Just where our aim is to offer the best mint service, but in the most affordable pricing. Because to answer that, we didn't have an initial plan to mint to make our own mint engine. We did have plan to bring other utilities. Those things that we have postponed it a bit just to bring the Brave mint, because when we came to know the fees of the mint engine, there was a bit much for us to begin with, because most of the mint service providers fee is most 10% to begin with, 10 to 15%, which is very expensive. Because were not comfortable to give out 10% of our fund, of our mint fund, which could add a lot of value for our long-term vision. So there was something that inspired us to bring our own meeting in Bremen, and also as a service. As I've so said, our vision is to give the best service, but in the most affordable way. So that's one, I think, one of the best thing that we are offering. And we are offering one-to-one main services, uh, personalized, that someone can have the personal experience. Like one could come up with just an NFT or just the art, but he doesn't have might not have any idea whatsoever about the metadata and all the technical shit that comes along with the meme. But we are taking care of all the things. I mean, yeah, we did have already have given the service to it, 5 6 projects already, and 2 or 3 of them had no idea how minting works and no idea how he should do work with the metadata. We have them uh, from A to Z with everything. Those are the things that other mint service providers might not have the time or intention to do so, but we are doing that. And then one other thing that we have is claim drop that no other means service is providing. So what is claim drop? So we do have airdrop. So with airdrop, um, what happens is a project owner or someone could airdrop 100, 200, 300 NFTs to individuals, but it's a very silent event, because when you do airdrop something, just the most active ones will share a tweet, or will come to the Discord to say something about their airdrop, but the percentage is not more than 10 to 15%, if I do the mathematics here. But with claim drop, one has to come to mint his NFT by himself. So and also the mint fee is just the transaction fee. So now instead of airdrop, one has to claim his NFT if he is interested or not. So if he's interested, he will come here and claim the NFT, and him or she must have to be active, because or else you don't have any idea whatsoever what's happening. So there is a call to action in claim drop. And in terms of airdrop, if you're a project owner, if you want to airdrop 100, 200, 500 NFTs, that will cost you a substantial amount of ADA to airdrop, to meet an airdrop that NFT. But without claim drop, that will not cost you anything, because now the minters will be paying the mint fee and the transaction fee, whereas ours is a multi-sig mint engine. So once one come here to mint his claim his NFT with just 0.2 to 0.24 ADA, he can mint his NFT and claim his NFT by himself. So it creates a lot of opportunities for the project owners and someone who might not have the fun to mint his collection. So if someone is an indie artist who wants to just give his art for the community, that will cost him or her something just to airdrop. But if a claim drop, that is free. And to add that, we are giving a free mint service to indie artists just to bring new people to the Cardano community, not just the Cardano on crypto, because we have had experience to have a meeting with a couple of the indie artists, and that we have found that they are very good artists. They are very close to the community, but when it comes about minting, they don't have any technical experience or expertise to mint this collection, even with like NMK or JPEG. With JPEG, you have to mint one by one and one. With NMK, you have to set the whole things by yourself. So that might be that. I mean, yeah, it's easier for us. It could be easier for you, but it might be difficult for someone. So uh, with our Brave Mint, you can have that close service, personal service that other computers might not have on their box.
Mm, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I like the claim drops angle in terms of yeah, so like if I'm hearing you correctly, I have an airdrop that I want to give, and I have to give 500, away, and like, for each transaction I make to give that away, I'm gonna have to pay that transaction fee like times 100. So with your service with the claim drop, I could just put people just onto your service or your platform, and they can go get that as a project owner, and that would have me at no cost, and I could just give it
Yep.
away in bulk.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea. Just in terms of helping out just different project owners, and then ultimately that's a level of innovation to where if they want to do like a mass giveaway, there's not like a big payment at the end at the end
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that definitely makes sense. I was also did Neo. Did you want to like add anything to that? I was wanting to just make sure to give you the floor.
Well, I can say only one thing is that the market is big and there is room for everyone. And we can say that for not just for minting or CNFT, but for any aspects. I mean, the cell phone market is also big, but there is Apple and there is also thousands company we don't even know. So yeah, there are big players on the market, but we also believe that there are room for opportunities that if someone comes in and provide quality service, they will be able to keep their remarks.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. We're so early, and I feel like the way the Cardano blockchain, the ecosystem is developing, and just far as speaking long term, like 1, 2, 3, 5 years down the line, there's gonna be so many different projects, especially in the bull cycle. It's like we're gonna need all the help that we can get. So I feel like it's a lot of room out here to like develop your ecosystem and offer your services. So yeah, I could definitely identify with that. I just wanted to talk about just in your white paper and just different things. You might have touched on it a little bit, some if you did, forgive me. But just like, what are some of like the upcoming tools, just for like the features with Brave Labs or anything? Just any more info that you could share with that? Just upcoming tools is going to be released on your platform.
Okay, Brave Love is a platform that aims to bring pioneering utilities into CNFT space, and we are already developing tools. But yeah, not be going to give any details because just to give you an idea. We are working on a tool that we were supposed to bring already, and that was the transaction history tracker, the one that CNFT Jungle has launched recently. So the way you can track the whole transaction in a web metrics scenario. So you just put your address and you will have the whole visual idea how much and why where the transaction is going. So we are actually working on that, but Senior Jungle has launched that already. So we stopped working on that. And now we are working on something that will be, of course, that will be using something from JPEG, and we will be building something on the JPEG. It will be interesting because it's something that I think Cardano community has not seen yet, but so it will be different. And we are also and we have already reached out to JPEG for some API support, but that was unfortunate. But that they don't have any enterprise level API support yet. But yeah, we did have come up with our own way to build our tools, and we are targeting to drop our first tool right after our main collection mint. And as you have and I mean, if you just try the product that we have already built, you should have the clear idea about our quality and the capability that we have to bring good tools and utilities.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a fine line and balance, just because like I can understand from your position, like you don't want to say too much just because people out here they steal ideas and stuff and certain things. So yeah, so I can understand, but I just I'm interested in the project, of course. I just thought I'd ask, but yeah, just I definitely just understand there's like a kind of like a balance to that. In terms of like some other things that was like interest me um with your project, I know you had like two things that stuck out. I know you had like your gamified whitelist engine just with your weed CNFT drops calendar, and then also you had like your machine learning model when it comes to like on Brave Labs with rug pulls. So I don't know. Again, this is one of the questions where I don't know how much you can share, but just with those two things, just on those two separate platforms, is there any information that you could share, or just anything just in regards to that?
Yeah, sure. So about the gamified whitelist engine, the whitelist engine that you have on Cardano, I mean, a lot of whitelisting that we already have are just straight out like following a Twitter account or joining a Discord account, and that will refer your whitelist. So it's not interactive and intuitive for the community, but I mean, we are working on some way or another to make it a gamified I mean, to introduce gamified activities. Yeah, as I have already said, I can share much because there are a lot of competitors now just with the whitelist engine. I mean, I think at least I know at least 7 or 8 projects that those are working on the same thing. So we do have to I mean, bring something different and unique to the table. I mean, if you check our mint, we have brought something different. If you check our vendors, we have brought something different. So we do have to bring something different to the table. So I'm afraid I cannot go share details because literally there are 7 or 8 projects that are working on the same thing. I mean, not exactly the same thing, but I mean in around the whitelist engine. So we must have to bring something different, or else it will not be released. We will have to something different. We are working on that. About the machine learning model. So yeah, there are a lot of rug pulls that we have already experienced. I think if you're a dozen, you do have two. So
Yeah.
that's something that I think, as we have our experience in machine learning in creating machine learning models. So we are working with university students. I mean, we do have students from University of Michigan, Dearborn, University of Alabama, Illinois Institute of Tech. So we do have I mean, our friends and juniors and seniors and all those things. So we are working on something. We are working on a machine learning model to to get the data from the Twitter and the Discord, and we are trying to build a model that we can train, and that we are training with the data from the Twitter and Discord, and trying to make something out of it that will, I mean, as a dozen, as me, I can tell from thousand that yeah, that is a Rakul project, or that will be a Rakul project. But someone who is new to the ecosystem or the community, it is quite difficult because it needs a lot of experience, and for that matter, to identify a project as a Rakul with a lot of factors. And now we are trying to introduce those experience and the factors to our model, so that our model can identify, or at least give someone a metrics to do their due diligence.
Mm, yeah. I saw Neo. You had your mic unmuted. Is there
Uh,
something that you wanted to add to
yeah,
that?
I think I can add something to the machine learning models aspects. So, well, we, as per our ideas from Brave Labs and utilities, we can share much because we have to project the idea. But for the machine learning model, I think I can share some details here, just to be fair. So we are still at the research phase because developing a machine learning model is a multi-phase task. You have to first do the research part, and then you have to do some prototype A/B testing, and then finally develop the product. So we are still at the research phase, and our idea is to use a supervised learning methodology. So in case if anyone doesn't know what supervised learning is, it's basically a methodology where you input some data. The data will be marked. For example, you input a picture of banana and you tell the model that this is a picture of banana, and you give the machine thousand millions of pictures. And then when you send another picture of banana to the model will match the picture with all the image it was trained, and then the model will say, well, this looks like a banana because he we trained the model that banana is kind of an yellow, lengthy, cylinder shaped object. So that's actually supervised learning, where we provide a lot of data with labeled, and then the model predicts something that matches closest to that data. So that was our actually plan. We have plans to feed shit tons of data from collected from Twitter and Discord, and we're still working on the parameters. The parameters could be the Twitter fake follower ratio, or it could be the community feedback, it could be the engagement rate or engagement activity. So we are still figuring out the parameters because it's the most important aspects to determine the efficiency of a model. So we are still working on that, and we have our team collecting data for Twitters and other for Twitter, Discord, and other sources. So we have multiple things going on at the same times. And later, our plan is to develop that supervised learning model and give us this an estimate output. It won't be like that you will enter a project name and we will tell you that, well, this project has 90% chance of output. No, it's not going to be something like that. But we might give you some assistance of what our machine learning model thinks from its trained data. So that is our plan actually. And since AI, artificial intelligence is still at the earliest stage, we don't actually guarantee, and we won't actually guarantee that our model will give you 100% accuracy or 90% accuracy. But our goal is to get as much accuracy as possible over the time, because, well, machine learning is a matter of time. The more data you feed, the more intelligence the model becomes. So that is our plan with the machine learning model to fight drug use.
So that's one aspect of mentioning it on our light paper, because even though we already started working on this, but we know that it will not show light within just 1 month or 2 months, because it's a long process. So one other reason of mentioning it on our light paper already was to to inform the community that we are working on that, and if you find any project which is SaaS or could be a possible rug pull, at least let us know that we can have the time to pull the data, because once a project delete the Twitter, we don't have any opportunity to collect the data from their profile or from their social activity. So that's one thing that we welcome everyone. Whenever you find something which is SaaS or which project could be a possible rug pull, just let us know, so that will help us to collect the data that we can feed our machine learning model.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. In terms of yeah, that's something that definitely interested me in terms of when I first looked at the white paper with the project, just because like that's something that as the as the ecosystem grows and CNFTs and all these different projects, there's going to be obviously more rug pulls as more volume comes into the marketplace. That's inevitable. So just having a way to like regulate the space, just without big institutions or governments coming in, just great ways to try to regulate ourselves and like identify like the bad apples. And then also too, a point that y'all was mentioning is just like a lot of people coming in to like NFTs. They don't really know what's a good project and what's a bad project. You kind of got to get burned a couple times, I guess, in a sense, or just hopefully just
Yeah.
get lucky and just have a smooth streak, either or. But just like over time, you begin to like notice certain patterns. You can sense, okay, this project is good. All right, this project they on some other stuff. I'm gonna stay away from this project. But I mean, I think that's something that I take for granted just because I've been at least a year plus into CNFTs, so I kind of seen like different things, and I noticed certain patterns. But yeah, it's good just for a service for people that may not be as confident going in to a project or putting their money with some investment. So yeah, that's all. It's a good idea to just help regulate the space and just bring just better overall, just better the Cardano ecosystem. So yeah. Was there anything else y'all wanted to add to that, or
Yeah,
because I
no, that's I think that
yeah.
suffice.
Yeah, so just in terms of so I know y'all got y'all's mint coming up and y'all gonna just mint another collection. Just in terms, just wanted to ask, like, how is the funds gonna be managed? So let's say y'all mint out, y'all get all y'all's funds. How is the capital gonna be managed with the project? Y'all gonna pay y'all's developers, pay y'all's first. Like, what's the first things is gonna be the money is gonna be going towards? How's the capital going to be handled just as a result?
Okay, so I think I will answer that one. So first of all, how are the money gonna be managing? How are the fund will be managing? So let me explain the current situation, our current financial situation and current strategic situation. So we are building on Cardano since March 2022, when we first released my NFT drops, and since then we are running everything by ourselves. We initially hosted our website NFT drops on Amazon, but it was really, really costly. We have to pay around $300 per month just to keep the servers running. So it was fine at the beginning, but later it became a little bit burden for us, uh, burning cash every month from our pockets. So in like 6 months, in 4 or 5 months ago, we had to switch our cloud provider from Amazon to a relatively cheaper one just to keep our cost down. But by the way, I'm mentioning all of this just to have a established foundation of our history. So that so far we have been doing everything by ourselves. So the Brave Mint, the official website of Brave Dogs, Manifty Drops, everything is we did on house. We didn't hire any developer, designers, or anyone. So the UI designing, the backend development, the deployment, everything was done in-house. And it's so far it's working, but the problem with this approach is that currently I am managing everything. All the tools you see under the lab of Brave Labs has my touch of it. But the problem with this approach is that it's slow since I am the one who is designing the product, developing the product, and managing the cloud architecture. So it's a lengthy process. So if we have a designer or a network engineer or a marketer who can take those lots of our team, that would be extremely helpful for us. And not mention that the design of our products, the user interface and user experience, I think we have some pretty good design, but I have a feeling that we have a feelings that if we could hire a professional designer, we could provide a far better design and user experience. And if we could hire some network engineer, we could scale up our servers and maintains all of this stuff. So we will be using part of our funds hiring additional staffs for the development of our projects. And not to mention that the community is moving fast. Everyone is trying to building something. So if we want to build a brand, we also have to move fast. And in order to do that, we also have to hire some additional technical peoples. So that is one thing. So we will spend a part of our fundings on hiring people, and then comes the marketing. Once we develop products, we have to do some marketing as well. As of right now, we are just doing everything by ourselves, but later we will be hiring some experts on that field. And as for the future cash flow, at the moment our main source of revenue is Brave Mint. we are earning from the Brave Mint, but we have other plans as well. As we already told you, we are from SaaS background, so we already have an idea of subscription-based modeling. So in terms of NFT drops, we have plans to launch new utilities under NFT drops that will follow the SaaS application model or something that close to it that will generate revenue and keep the cash flow. And not to mention that we have our royalty from the project that will keep the project running. So and our not to mention that our core team is the main development team. So even if we run out of funds or even if we get low on funds, we believe that we can at least stay afloat as we are doing for the past 1 or 2 years. So that's how we will be managing the funds, and that is the capital is going to be handled. And if you have to add something, please.
Yeah, you want to ask something? Yeah, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No.
Oh,
That was all.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's something that, just a lot of some certain projects, they're not as transparent about, what's going on as far as where is, because at the end of the day, it's a startup as far as, it's an idea level innovation. I'm putting money towards, idea that you want to bring into the world, and I'm supporting that as an investor, and just knowing, where that money goes, just like having like a level of transparency just going on. And I know there's levels to transparency within details of the project because, like we talked about before, people will steal innovation. But, that's something that, I like to look for in a project in terms of like, where is my money going towards? Like, how's it going to better, what better suggestions can I do to help improve the project? So, that's just something I look for. And then also, too, it's good that y'all have like revenue generators and different things because I kind of answered you already answered my follow up question as far as if your project doesn't min out, what's your alternative strategy? So it's good to know that you already have a strategy like going in and things already in motion and play as far as generating revenue and different utility aspects that you're going to offer with the calendar and then like the minting service and then just beyond that. So it's just good to know that y'all have like a consistent flow just with your project. And then like one of my last questions I just wanted to ask is just like for those that hold your NFT, can you speak to any added utility benefits, whether it's like raffles or it could be some type of votes or governance votes, credits. I know there was something about in their white paper about monthly scholarships and like semi-annual revenue. Can y'all speak to like any of the added utility as far as like people that's going to hold your project?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we do have the typical perks of NFTs that other projects provide, but I would like to cover the exclusive perks that our project will offer. So first one, as I mentioned, we will share our revenue from Brave Labs semi-annually with our NFT holders, and the shares is also mentioned in the metadata as a number of shares. Just to explain that, with Brave Labs, we already have one NFT drops and Brave Mint, and all the tools that we will deliver and we will work on will be under Brave Labs. Even if we come up with any experimental mint that we haven't seen on Cardano, even though those revenue will also be shared with the NFT holders. So just to begin with, we'll be sharing 15%. The 5% will also be shared with the NFT collection with different kind of events and activities, and the rest will be shared for any upcoming NFTs. Um, then we have one part that is that we will be giving exclusive Brave Mint credits up to 700 NFTs that one can use to mint his NFT with our mint engine Brave Mint. How will that work? So if you are a holder of Experience Pass, it might have a mint credit between 200 or 700. So so if you have a mint credit of 700, and if you have an NFT collection of 700 NFTs, with just holding the NFT Experience Pass, you will have the chance to mint your collection with our Brave Mint with a premium mint service for free, A to Z. That will cost you, I think, at least 35 to 4,000 ADA if you do it with the NM care, and if you do it with any better personalized mint service, that will cost you more than that. So with just that, I mean, we are providing at least 1,000 to 4,000 ADA worth of value with our experience plus. Then we have monthly scholarship opportunity that is about 180 USD. So to add that, we are in a more with a teaching platform from Australia. So they do teach technical analysis of crypto, no signal, no shilling, because that I think that's something that comes up very fast. No, they are, it's not something, it's not anything like that, because that's something that we are completely against. So they only share technical analysis of crypto. So as we believe that if you go beyond the current market and do good on the current on the market, you do have to need to have a good understanding how technical analysis work, and how you can move how can you can grow your fund, just with some critical decisions. So you do need help in that regard. So we will try to, like you mentioned, to to give some intellectual value to our community with that service. We will not be earning anything from that. It's just something that we believe that we could give back something with the community, because with this opportunity, if we offer 2% to begin at the very first month, in the next month we'll have two at least some form of educated with technical analysis that they can share with our community, so that it will be an ongoing process. And we believe that that will definitely keep our space moving with a very intellectual view.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Was there anything would you like to add, Nia, to that?
No, I think we covered all the aspects that this needs to cover. So that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to mention, I only covered the exclusive parts, but if I would definitely welcome everyone to read our light paper. You don't have to trust us, trust our code, trust the product that we have built. We are to begin with, we are completely against of the process that when you mint some product, mint some NFT, we do have to trust the light paper or the roadmap, which someone can do, can with just 10 minutes or 20 minutes of work. Now we have ChatGPT. I think you might not need that much time to bring a lucrative or exciting light paper or roadmap. But I will welcome you to try our services or try our product. Trust our code, not our words. To be honest.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's all I had. The questions for today. I would just I want to let y'all have like the last words. So just anything that y'all would like to share about your project. Where can they find y'all? I'll make sure I drop y'all's Discord, y'all's Twitter, and all y'all's links below. Just far as any, I'm gonna let y'all have the last words. But anything that y'all want to say to close out?
Yeah. I know you are an interviewer, but I will interview you with one question. What made you to invite us to your YouTube channel? What things, or what the aspects of our project made you to choose us to invite us to your YouTube video or channel?
Yeah. So one thing that just it interests me as far as like minting services, because I see like they have different ones in JPEG and Peppermint, and then how y'all having like different things for your calendar. So just as far as like the tools and just resources just going forward, and just how much data that y'all have and different things. So as far as y'all services that y'all provide to different projects, and then also, like y'all mentioned, y'all partnering up with some influencers like in the space. So it definitely like interests me. And then also, I know y'all docs by the Block Investment Group, and I'm involved. I'm actually in that group as far as the BIG and Jelly Cubes, and I've actually met Block is Hot and different things. So just a combination. Just overall, just very curious about the project. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that answered my question. Thank you. I that was it. That was all from us. I really thank you for giving us the time because we all are busy with our own world. So I really appreciate it. And whoever watches the video and have come this far, I would say come to join our Discord and say woof woof. We'll find you.
Anything you like to add, Neo?
Well, the only thing I can say is that thank you for inviting us and giving us the platform to talk about our project. And we expect everyone to come and join us on our Discord server and have a nice chat. And it's okay if you don't want to purchase our NFT at the moment. You don't have to. Just stay there and support us. That will be great. That will be all. That's all we need to move on. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. This is Stu for Stu TV. I cover all things blockchain, metaverse, crypto, NFTs, all money making opportunities in the space. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.